Mattie McGrath Tipperary Times. I'm delighted to be able to tell you that I'm launching or moving my private members bill regarding Irish water at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Friday, in the Dáil Chamber. It's the bill that I compiled last September, October, and moved it initially in November, and it was drawn out through the lottery system, and it'll be debated tomorrow on the floor of the House from 10 o'clock until 12. I'm getting vibes that the government are opposing it, which is, I suppose I'm not surprised. Minister Kelly got those vibes today. I won't know until we arrive in the Dáil Chamber tomorrow. Basically, my bill is to cut out all the, the legislation has been huge, rushed through the Dáils, My bill has three major planks in it. Quite simple, straightforward. One is that if the government, as it did with Aer Lingus, decide to sell off or do a public-private partnership disposal of Irish water, that they cannot do that without a plebiscite or a referendum by the people. Clear, unambiguous, not that they may or they shall, they just cannot do it. Number two is I want an ombudsperson appointed to deal with dispute resolution with Irish water. As you know, with the almost 2 million customers, households and private business, there will be anomalies and issues. The ombudsperson, as we know at the moment, is overrun with work, so we need a dedicated, specific ombudsperson for dealing with debt resolution and issues like that for the public and for Irish water. And the third important plank is that a full disclosure of freedom of information. We've seen in the Dáil over the last months, Dáil TDs questioning the Taoiseach and leaders' questions. He has the arrogance and impotence to tell them to go and take a walk over to the AV room, a toddle over. The AV room, Irish water officials come in there every week for 2 hours. And one of them yesterday told Deputy Ballycown and myself that we were asking political questions. I had to remind them that they're in a political house. This is the House of Parliament. They're coming in to address our issues, supposed to be. So it's very important. Around the whole area then, the other plank then, major plank, and that's all, 4 items really, is the cost of repairs inside the house. I want an insurance policy built into the bill that where people could pay a small fee, but if they had major bursts then or leaks, or indeed has turned up this week, even though everybody knows it with decades about the issue of lead pipes in the houses, that they wouldn't have to fork out 2,000 and 3,000. Initial part of this debate is that either way now, figures were quoted by Irish Water of €120 an hour for call out and €170 out of hours for call out. Put those two figures together, and for a plumber or anybody else to do evaluation in a house, it would take them that into time. You're talking about €300, more than any household bill for the year. So I don't want a situation where Irish Water can get a cash cow out of ordinary householders who may have issues of leaking or faulty pipes in their properties, or now the lead pipes have to be replaced. So clear, unambiguous amendments in my bill to copper fasten that in legislation, and I'm getting a lot of support, as I did this morning, from other independents and people from all parties really, but it depends on what action the government take. We need clarity here. We need a certainness going forward, because, as I said, we can't have people been frightened and been intimidated and also facing huge bills to replace pipes or due to breakages, because when Irish Water do new tappings and new connections and meters, there'll always be interruptions in the supply, and there will be surges in water pressure, and there will be burst pipes as a result. Everyone knows that. So that's what my bill is. Simple, it's straightforward, it's clear, and I want unambiguous legislation written in. No shalls or may. I want a total positive that certainty will be in the bill.